Hello everyone. Welcome back to another Magic the Gathering Commander review. Today we are talking about Hunding Gjorn. Oh man, hold on. I'm gonna get this. Hunding Gjornersen or Gjornersen if the G is silent. I'm not sure. Hunding, we'll leave it there, is a legendary human warrior. It's a 5/4. It costs 3 generic mana, 1 white mana, and 2 blue mana. It has Rampage 1. As I've talked about in previous videos, Chromium, Gabriel Angelfire. Rampage, specifically for Hunding, is whenever Hunding is blocked by a creature, it gets +1/+1 for every creature beyond the first that is blocking it. So as soon as a second creature is blocking Hunding Gjornersen, it becomes a 6/5, and then third creature a 7/6, so on and so forth. Without further ado, let's go talk about Hunding's rulings, which there are none. So we're going to move straight on to a card that synergizes. We've already talked about the Lure Enchantment. We've already talked about the Nemesis Helmet. I don't remember if that's what it's called, but for Chromium. So mass luring effects. There are, however, provoking effects, or effects that force a single creature to block. And I thought this was a good choice for Hunding, specifically because Hunding has only Rampage 1, so if you're not careful, it could get overrun. It starts as a base power of 5/4, which is really good, but if someone wants to chump block a lot of tokens, they could overwhelm Hunding if they're blocking with like an army of 2/2 zombies or something like that. The numbers do add up. And so unlike Chromium that starts at 7/7 with Rampage 2, and Gabriel that has Rampage 3, Hunding, you may not want to do a lure effect, but you may want to do a provoking effect where you're just targeting one creature to force it to block. So I chose Grappling Hook, as you are probably already looking at. The most important thing with Grappling Hook is when the equipped creature attacks, you may have target creature block it this turn if able. Really great. You can get rid of very specific threats that opponents control by forcing them to block. Maybe the opponent will chump block with more creatures out of spite, but that just means you get to get rid of more creatures, especially because Grappling Hook gives double strike to Hunding, which is really, really nice. 3 decks. The first one that I have Hunding in is my Banding Goad deck. Like I was saying, provoking your opponents, forcing them to block, forcing them to attack, kind of fits with what Hunding is doing, especially because my Banding deck is kind of an aggro and defensive deck. It kind of walks the line of fighting offense and defense. So in this deck, you're going to have Banding to help spread the damage, especially with Hunding. You want to protect him as he's getting blocked by multiple creatures. Sly Instigator to force your creatures to attack. Bloodthirsty Blade to force your opponent's creatures to attack. Really open the gates, as you would say, of your opponents, so you can go on in there and fight them as they're fighting amongst themselves. Hunding is a human. Hunding is a warrior. You could do warrior, you could do human tribes. This one I picked warrior specifically. I think I'm just looking ahead at the next deck idea. Yeah. So you could do either or. You could do a mix of both tribes in here. This one I did mostly a warrior focus, but you can do whatever you want. Human has a lot of support in these colors. Warrior has a lot of support in white, but there are some great warriors in blue, like the Talus Warrior, which has unblockable. Really cool. Finally, because Hunding has that Rampage, like with Chromium, we could do a kind of Voltron build where we're just beefing up Hunding to deal lots of damage. We can take advantage of that Rampage and force our opponents to block it, and we can cut them down and get our way through. or because it is white and blue, we can give it unblockable with Steel of the Godhead and just go for direct commander damage as well. So, interesting builds all around. With that said, like I said earlier, strong builds you can do. Human, warrior, great tribes. Voltron, you're in white and blue, so getting equipment and artifacts and stuff is really easy in those colors. You can throw in a couple enchantments in there as well. White has great enchantment tutoring, so you can do a Voltron deck. The biggest problem with Hunding is expensive. At 6 mana for a 5/4 with just Rampage, so the only way to get its ability is it has to throw itself into danger by being blocked, is a lot to ask for. So be careful with that. But I think you can have a lot of fun with Hunding. I'm excited to play with Hunding, and I can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!